Hey guys, Scoring Football here, back with another video. Sorry I haven't done one in quite a while. I was going to do the announcement of the Wolves manager being announced, but he hasn't joined us just yet, so I thought I'd do that video on Monday as when he actually officially joins. Which I thought would be a little bit better personally. So I can get this one video in you know. And today's video is going to be on the 2022 World Cup England squad. Today's video is going to be on the Southgate release of the England squad for the 2022 Qatar World Cup. I'm going to be reading you out the squad and I'm going to be discussing about the things I agree and disagree on. So let's get started. Here are the goalkeepers in the squad: Jordan Pickford, Nick Pope, Aaron Ramsdale. With defenders: Trent Alexander-Arnold, Conor Cody, Eric Dyer, Harry Maguire, Luke Shaw, John Stones, Kieran Trippier, Kyle Walker and Ben White. Midfielders: Jude Bellingham, Conor Gallagher, Jordan Henderson, Mason Mount, Calvin Phillips, Declan Rice. Forwards: Phil Foden, Jack Grealish, Harry Kane, James Maddison, Marcus Rashford, Bukayo Saka, Raheem Sterling and Callum Wilson. So a few calls up there, to be honest. And a few disappointing ones. Let's just go through it. On goalkeeper, Jordan Pickford, Nick Pope and Aaron Ramsdale. I agree on all three. When I was doing my predicted England squad a couple of months ago, when I did this one, I said Dean Henderson to go instead. Because Nick Pope in the game during where we drew 3-3, he hesitates far too much and can't kick the ball out that well. But looking on form for both teams, Nick Pope's in form with Newcastle, and Dean Henderson's not so much in form with Forest. So I probably were right this season. Goalkeepers haven't got a problem. Defenders: Trent Alexander-Arnold. He hasn't had the best of season so far, but he's not going to be dropped anytime soon. Conor Cody, on loan from Everton this season from Wolves. So Southgate loves Cody and he is a leader in there. He might not work well in the back four, but he's definitely a leader in the dressing room. So it's worth taking him, and he's been playing as well. Eric Dyer, I did say in my predicted squad him not to go, but I didn't think he was good enough. But due to injuries in the squad and him playing games, I've changed my mind and said Eric Dyer to go, so I agree on that. Harry Maguire, this is a talking point for everyone here, whether he should go or not. Personally, I said in my predicted squad, I said he should not go because he's hardly been playing. That's why I don't think he should go. However, when he plays for England, he hardly ever puts a foot wrong. Really, he does play well for England. But the point is, if you're not playing for your club, should you go or should you not go? If you're not playing for your club and you're not playing many games, I don't think you should go. But if you're playing well for England at the same time, I think then a different discussion opens up really, because you always want players that play well for England, but you also want players that are in form for England as well. So, and I think there's other players better than Harry Maguire that deserve to be going. So I don't think he should go, but let's soon see how well he plays at the World Cup and how well he impresses all. Then we can soon just then, can't we? Next, Luke Shaw. He hasn't been playing every game this season. He wasn't playing many games. He'll get replaced. And a new player called Malacia, who came in from Eindhoven, I think, kept getting him in over Shaw all the time. But now it's been a bit of a mix, and Shaw has been playing. Ben Chilwell has just been injured, so when I did my predicted squad, I had to say Chilwell to go and Shaw to be not go. But now, due to that, Luke Shaw should go. He's a brilliant left back for England. He did well at the last Euros. He did. He does play. He is so underrated, Luke Shaw. At England, I think he once not a few years ago now. He was out for 2 years with a big injury, and the threat that he could have his leg amputated. That one stays once. But we're glad to see him back playing football in the end. For Luke Shaw last season, He might not be very good in United top, but you can say that about Maguire and the others, but he does put a good shift in for England. So I think he should go. We've only got one left back option, I think. Or can I think Trippier, who's in this squad that I'll reveal in a minute, can play left back, but he's my chosen right back really. Next we've got John Stones. He was injured for a couple of games actually, but ever since then he's been back up and he's been playing again, so he's got to go. He's one of England's best centre backs. Kieran Trippier. He's in an informed Newcastle side. He is. He's playing well, and he is playing, and he's playing with Atletico when he won the league there with them. So personally, if you're looking on Trent's form, then I think he should start. Or he can play left back if Luke Shaw isn't playing though. Next we got Kyle Walker. There was doubt whether he'd be back or not, but he's just about made it back, which I'm absolutely delighted about that he's managed to make it back. He's in an informed Man City team. It's a big discussion where he should start every game. Looking at form for all of them, I would say Kieran Trippier is in the best of form. Personally, Trent's probably the third option for me. If we wouldn't have had to think about Kyle Walker's injury, if there was no worry about him being back up in time, I would say start Kyle Walker. But to come back in with Kieran Trippier playing most of the games, I'd say start Trippier, and Kyle Walker could start a few, but we'll soon see who Southgate decides to start. Next defender now, Ben White. I'm absolutely delighted about this one. He played on loan at Leeds once in the Championship in the season with the title, where Brighton kept rejecting every single bid. He was at Brighton, then he went to Arsenal. Personally, I think he deserves to go, as he's been playing every game. Arsenal are a team that are in form this year and are ahead of Man City at the moment. It's between City and 11 at the moment, and they're doing very well. So he definitely deserves to go. He joined from Brighton in 2021. He did join Arsenal. He's done very well ever since he's gone there. This season he's been playing, so he deserves to go. He deserves to get his chance at last. Though you could point out disappointing news that Reece James can't make it, and he's gutted he can't as well. And one thing I disagree on here is for Tomori not going, because has Southgate not seen him play for AC Milan? Also, he won the league with them. He's so underrated, the hate he gets, honestly, off Southgate. He deserves to go over Maguire. Just because he's not playing in the Premier League, Tomori, he's playing in a different league outside of England. They still need to take notice of not just the Premier League, of all leagues, wherever an England player is starting to perform well or has featured in the England squad before. Apart from that decision, I agree on that all. Next section now, we've got the midfielders. Jude Bellingham, who's one of our best midfielders in the Nations League games when he didn't play well. He's one that did actually try. He's at Dortmund at the moment. I'm surprised he hasn't got a move to the Premier League just yet, but he should do eventually. But he's got to be starting every single match he has, Jude Bellingham. Midfielders, Conor Gallagher. He hasn't been playing as much since he was at Palace last season and played loads, but since he's gone back to Chelsea on loan, he hasn't played as much. But personally, when he does play well, when he starts, he plays very well. So if he was playing more games, I think he would be number one. He would have been called up earlier. I think he would have probably been called up in the Nations League games. So I think it wouldn't be a bad idea to take him. We'll soon see if he starts and how well he plays. Jordan Henderson going. Personally, I would take him. He's not the quickest player, not the most creative player, but I don't think he's bad enough to be left out, so take him, I would. Mason Mount, again, another player in form, he's been playing for Chelsea, so take him. Calvin Phillips. No way he should have gone. He's played 13 minutes of football this season. That's not even one whole game. That's just a couple of minutes of football at the start of the season. He was back last night in the Carabao Cup against Chelsea where he won 2-0. But that's not the point. If you want to go, you need to play. Play for your team. And he hasn't. All players like that have been playing well don't get a chance. Declan Rice, he's definitely got to go. He definitely wasn't being left out. We've got 6 midfielders here. Personally, I can't think of any other midfielder to go. Eze or James Ward-Prowse could have gone, but James Ward-Prowse isn't playing well and isn't playing in a good Southampton side in form, and them just sacking the manager recently, sacking Ralph Hasenhuttl lately, and Nathan Jones has just taken over. And I don't think Calvin Phillips should go really. He didn't go, but Eze could have got the chance, or James Ward-Prowse could have got the chance, but it's Calvin Phillips going. He did play well in the last Euros, but that's not the point. He needs to be playing for his club though, as he's not in much form, is he? The forwards now, Phil Foden, not a problem with him going. He's been playing, and he's doing well. Jack Grealish, he's not playing every game for Man City. Since a £100 million move, he hasn't featured every single game, which is quite poor for that amount of money. But when he plays for England, he is quality, so I think he should go. He's vital for England. Harry Kane, obviously, the top player for England, who often carries the team. James Maddison finally got the start. This was the big talking point. I'm surprised he ain't in the midfielding section really, but I think he can play up front personally. Next we've got Marcus Rashford. He's definitely improved himself this season. In the Nations League games, personally, if he wouldn't have had an injury, he would have gone. Bukayo Saka, he is one of the best players in those games. He could have got a start early. Raheem Sterling, obviously he was going to go. He's now changed clubs from Man City to Chelsea now. He hasn't scored many goals since he's gone there, but he is playing and he is scoring though. Next, Callum Wilson, who finally got a call up at last. He deserved that. He's playing well in a Newcastle team with loads of world-class players and they're currently third in the league, so he deserves to go. I think it's rather harsh that Ivan Toney's not going really. He's been robbed really. But apparently there is some investigation on if something to do with betting or something, but personally, maybe they've decided not to take him over that, but personally, I don't think there's any rule out there saying he was suspended for playing or not, or can't go. Maybe if somebody drops out and his investigation's over, he might go. But I don't want Callum Wilson or the rest of these chosen players like Maddison and Rashford to drop out with injury though, because they're vital for us. Personally, if Toney was to go, I would take out Calvin Phillips and then put Maddison back into the midfield and then have Toney, but you've got 3 strikers, Kane, Wilson and Toney. Tammy Abraham not going. He hasn't been in form this season, so that's probably about right. He's not going. We'll soon see Callum. We're taking too many strikers. They're often the case where they can't all get in the side, so pretty positive only taking 2. But it's incredibly hard on Toney, where he scored more goals than Callum Wilson. He's very good on penalties, but Wilson tends to score better goals than him. But if we're going to take penalties, Kane and him are vital for. Kane's vital for penalties, and so is Toney, really. Toney got called up in the Nations League games, but never played. Which is a shame, really. So, right then, guys, I'll wrap the video up now. So, if you did all enjoy the video today, do give it a like, do subscribe to the channel, and turn your notifications every time I make a video. I hope you did all enjoy the video today. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below on which players deserve to go and which players deserve to go and have been unlucky and robbed to miss out and stuff, and which players do you think that are left have deserved a chance, and which players do you think shouldn't have gone? Let me know in the comments. personally, that one squad, I think it's a little bit flat. Personally, it's not very inspiring. Personally, but people have got what they wanted. Madison's there now, but Tomori not being there is a robbery, as he's played very well. So right then, guys, see you all later, guys. Have a good one. Bye, everyone. Come on, England. Bye, everyone.